Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the number one collaborative professional wrestling podcast anywhere in the world. This is Clash of the By God podcast, and we're in the building for another big time episode. To my immediate left, your right, is the one and only proprietor of everything pro wrestling. His name is Conrad Cushman. Right here, it's your big homie. My name is Sean Hubbard, representing Hubbard Wrestling Weekly and HubbardWrestlingWeekly.com, or actually, to be precise, HWWeekly.com. And we are fired up for another episode. What a tremendous weekend of professional wrestling that took place this past weekend. And I got to give it up, man. If there's one executive in WWE I got to give credit to, I mean, this guy's just putting together amazing shows week after week. You know, all the credit he's getting, he deserves, Conrad. All the credit he's getting, he deserves. And I want to take the time to give a big shout out to the best executive and storyline writer in the entire company, Michael Hickenbottom, Shawn Michaels. That's the bottom line. That's what I'm sticking to. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yo, we got this and a whole lot more to talk about right here on Clash of the Podcast. Let's get it rolling. Conrad, my brother, drop that thing.
Man, back again, another Monday, another episode. What's going on, everybody? Conrad from Everything Pro Wrestling here. Got to get into the shout-outs, got to get into the talking tos. We're going to talk a little Money in the Bank. If you want to hear like a full-blown show review for it, we did one on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. If you guys want to head on over to that YouTube channel, I'm putting it in the live chat as we speak. Shout out to Nightbot, who puts in the links for us. Those are popping up right now. That'll be on Sean's latest video. It was a great review show. I have fun with it. I made a last second pop up in there and got involved. Go ahead. You can promote it. Go ahead.
Okay, I wasn't trying to step on your toes, brother. Yeah, we did a really cool Money in the Bank post game show. Myself, Conrad surprised me actually. Big shout out to Conrad. Came in last minute to help me out. The final boss, Crystal, was in the building, and Jesse and James, the Pro Wrestling Shoot, were in the building. They were all tremendous guests. It was a lot of fun. We do not agree on a lot of things, but that's what makes it fun. So go over to the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly channel. It's written out as Hub W Weekly, and see what you think. I mean, we got a lot of views, a lot of comments, and it flowed really well. So check it out and have some fun with that.
First person to get the shout outs, he bumped himself all the way up to the top. Joel, appreciate you, brother. Coming in with the $2 super chat. Great way to get your comment read right away. I know some people are eager to always talk in there. This is the best way to do it. Happy Monday. Ready for your Money in the Bank and Heatwave thoughts. I thank you, good sir. We're going to provide that for you right away. Quills, first one in here.
Quilly.
Conrad and Sean in chat. Your boy Sir Quills is back again to enjoy my two favorite bros, CJ and Hubs, for episode 97. Ooh, the Connor McDavid edition of the best podcast today, Clash of the By God podcast. Quilly, we appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Money in the Bank, a.k.a. Botchamania. Woo, he's coming hard. 7 out of 10. Heatwave, despite Trick Williams being the latest black man to get royally disgraced, it was still an 8 out of 10.
Yo, Quills is so cool, man. Quills just tells it like it is.
Wesley and Obafemi was match of the night, and Javon Evans was the MVP of the entire PLE.
He definitely did snap.
Big shout out to Clown, who's in the chat.
So supportive, Clown. Appreciate you.
Where does Clown like to support you the most, would you say?
I would say he's rocking out with me regularly on Hubbonomics. I drop Hubbonomics episodes once or twice a week. The next one coming up is very soon. I believe tomorrow I'm dropping the next one. Got to check with the production team and everything like that, but I'm dropping the next one. It's going to be a really cool episode. We have everybody from Nia Jax to The Rock to Chris Jericho to R-Truth, and we're going to keep the ball rolling. So check out Hubbardonomics on the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly channel. Thank you, Clown. Always a loyal listener of Hubbardonomics every time I drop one.
Appreciate you, Clown. Ray in the house. Happy Monday, guys. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Money in the Bank was a good show overall. Women's Money in the Bank and Cena's return were the highlights for me. Overall, it was a B show. I do think they missed opportunities with Braun and Mello. I think they're still going to get their time. I know people are... Listen, I'm captain, like, I'm tired of waiting, but I think people are rushing them a little too much. To give them time. They just got up here in April. I think they're going to be fine. The four-way at Heatwave was my match of the weekend. That was one of the best four-ways I've seen WWE-wise since Backlash 2007. Had the best four-way, but this may be my number 2.
That's what she said.
Just go.
And Leezy Phone Sheezy in the building. He says, hello, everyone. Good evening. Hope everyone had a good weekend, and let's kick off the week with the two best in our pro wrestling community. Leezy, we appreciate you, man. The feeling is mutual.
McKinney says, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling with the Fire live chat and the Wild Samoans of podcast, Clash of the Podcast, and to let y'all know, don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Let's go.
Very nice. Very nice.
Says McKinney adds on, Money in the Bank was a solid 8 out of 10 show, but NXT Heatwave was dang near perfect. 9 out of 10. Every match was excellent, told a great story to move things along and set up new feuds and rivalries. NXT is fire. I have to give McKinney his props. I enjoyed Heatwave a lot.
I mean, I agree with half of what McKinney said. Brother McKinney is on the money with the Heatwave assessment. I don't know if I would give Money in the Bank at 8, but I certainly agree with the 9 on Heatwave. Heatwave was an outstanding show. Outstanding. And without question, the best show of the weekend.
Pro Wrestling Shoot in the house. What's good, man? Jesse and James. Don't forget tomorrow they go live on Tuesdays. Either it's a stream. They're talking WWE 2K. Go over there talking wrestling video games. They might even be talking some wrestling news. Head on over there. Support the good friends of the
Don't we have some updated, like some very some big news to talk about what's coming down the pipe?
You do.
No, we know. We do. Should I tell it now or should I save it? We can save it.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Or do you want to iron out more details first?
Let's iron out more details and we'll share with the world next week.
All right, we're working on some special things for you guys.
Something real big.
That's right. The final boss lady. I think you should trademark that, Crystal. I think you can make some money for it. Crystal's in the chat. I love working with Crystal every time we're on Sean's channel. Amazing. She says, hey guys, I feel like Priest versus Rollins versus McIntyre was the match of the night. It was exciting.
It was good.
Don't hold back anything, Sean.
Yo, Chris is my dog, man. I love Crystal. That's my sister, but we don't agree on much when it comes to wrestling.
Right. And then
which makes for good conversation. I think she's super smart, and I think I'm super smart, and I think when we collide, it's like Clash of the Titans, and a movable force, irresistible object, or however you want to put it, irresistible object, a movable force. Like, she and I do not agree, but she loves what she loves. I love what I love, and it is what it is.
And the people love you both. That's the best way to put it.
There you go.
Renegade L2K, aka James from the Pro Wrestler Shoe says, God bless you, fellas. James, God bless you, sir.
James, God bless you as well, man. Good guy. I got something I want you to work with us on, but I don't know if you're available that particular day. I'm gonna hit you up.
Doug in the house. Teach him how to Dougie. As everybody on the live video sees Sean hit the Dougie. Another Monday, another clash. Listen to the Money in the Bank post show earlier today. Was too busy lighting up the sky at my aunt's house. Pics on Facebook for those who I have on there.
Nice.
I'm glad. I hope you and your aunt had a good holiday, man. I hope you guys got to kick back and relax and just chill out. John G in the house. John G. Look at that.
He sounds like an R&B singer. I like that.
I know. They don't know.
Hey!
XG Dub was good. Pro Wrestler Shoe said choosing violence already. I see.
Yes, indeed. Oh, and Jesse, I think I might have a sleeper tag team partner for you. Something just popped into my head. Oh my God. Keep going, Conrad. Oh, this is going to be big.
I just saw James said Disco was all over that Soul versus Jordan match. Bum. If that is how you saw Triple H, or if that's how you say Triple H.
When I said the best executive in WWE, is that how you say Triple H? Real clever, Crystal. Real freaking clever.
Also, what's the Lesnar quote on a J shirt? Eat, sleep, repeat. Eat, sleep, yeet, repeat.
Yeah, there's a new shirt that came out. They're giving him T-shirts, and he's selling merchandise hand over fist, but he can't win a freaking match.
1 week till college football is out, fellas. Can't wait for the game. I hope it's a good one, man.
1 week, James? 1 week?
Yeah, it's July. Mm-hmm.
July 19th.
Yeah, but it's almost a week. He might be jumping ahead, but...
Okay, we're in the ballpark. I'm with you.
Okay. Matt saying Heatwave. My guy, your guy, Derek's in the chat.
My guy, Derek. That's a good guy right there. Appreciate you, Derek.
Yes. People sound like they enjoyed it. Tired of waiting. Plenty of shows this week with quick payoffs. I'm trying to remember what we said before that was
poignant to that statement. I don't remember, but
I'll get back to it. You'll hear us talk about it, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Quill said Money in the Bank post-game review was awesome between Hubs, Conrad, Jesse, and James, and of course Crystal. Highly entertaining and very insightful.
Thank you, Quilly. We appreciate you, man. You're a good guy.
See, I think I should trademark it. I'm telling you.
She can't trademark it because The Rock has already trademarked it. I don't want.
She can call yourself the final lady boss. I bet it'll go through.
Don't get her in trouble, Conrad. Just because she gets on my nerves and she's my annoying sister, I don't want her to get sued by The Rock. Listen. And you know the petty people in WWE will sue anybody.
Nah, Dwayne's a good guy, man. That WCW doc, totally truthful. Totally. Cena's going to get a title shot before Jay does it. We'll talk about that. Byron Cutler, what's good, man? Appreciate you. I want creative story injury overhaul system in 2K25. Jesse put out a pretty good video about that. Maybe you should throw that in the suggestions.
That as well.
I think he's got some good stuff coming up for you. Jesse saying, I don't need a tag partner. I'll let the numbers and facts and the popular vote speak for itself.
All right, that's it, Jesse. We're not gonna, and I'm talking to myself too. We're not gonna reveal anything else. We're all locked in. We're gonna have a big announcement for you guys next week.
Out July 16th if you get the deluxe pre-order.
Okay, good to know.
No, we all don't agree, but it's all love. I respect your opinion. See,
I respect yours too, my sister.
Let's see here. The final boss, aka Sasha Banks. Now, see, she didn't say none of that. It's Mercedes Moné now, too.
No.
All right.
No.
Let's stir the pot up. What's the deal with Hogan again? No.
Jesus. Mary and Joseph.
I'm not saying a word about it.
I don't know.
How do we feel about your boy Cody crying?
He makes me sick, Derek. He makes me sick every week, Derek. I'm glad you brought it up because I was gonna. All this dude does is cry every single week. Good Lord.
Yo, McKinney, you are 1,000% correct. I think this label is too tough to get off right now, though. Yeah, but if you guys want to tell 7-Eleven to sponsor us, feel free. We'll take them on every Monday. It's fine. All I need is like a gift card every week for $10, free gas, whatever you guys want to give us. It doesn't matter.
We deserve it. Clap, 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 clap,
clap. Technically, the final boss moniker before The Rock, if anyone went to Sodomora, that is true.
Touché.
By the way, is she still signed to WWE? Because I didn't see her like on any release things, but I see her also doing kind of what she wants. Just a weird question. If anyone ever finds out about that, send me a message because I'm curious to know her status. Legend in the game. Let's talk Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, shorty, what you drink?
Hey, it happened. I didn't really pull up a lot of pictures for it. We went over a lot of this, but let's just go through this kind of quickly. We had the men's Money in the Bank match. We all know Drew McIntyre won. Sean, overall feelings coming out of this one?
Disgusting. That's it.
Por qué? Why? Why?
I mean, the Money in the Bank situation that we see play out a little later in the evening wasn't necessary to maneuver and to advance the storyline with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. It was not necessary to pretty much cancel out Money in the Bank in one night. That was foolish. It was stupid. Take Jey Uso aside. We all know everybody, oh, Sean's just salty about Jey Uso. And I should be. But that aside, you took Money in the Bank out the equation. We're not going to see a men's Money in the Bank holder until next year. For what? Just for CM Punk could have screwed him out of winning the match. That would have been just as effective. But no. Stupid.
On the post-game show on Sean's channel, if you guys want to get into it, I lean more towards Jesse with this, with the I'm over the Money in the Bank gimmick. I think 2 is too many. You get what it feels like the same with the Rumble. Like 2 is too many. Like we got to find a way to split these up. I don't like having 2.
Oh, so your logic is that it's not that your logic is that you're not a big fan of 2 Money in the Bank winners.
Correct. And I don't think WWE ever has been 2. Go back in history since they gave out 2, whether it was Raw, SmackDown, or men's and women's. They always get rid of one within a month or that night. There's no other choice. They're like, get rid of one.
There's only been 3 and now 4 in history that have cashed in the same night. That's not a huge number.
But they just started this though.
Okay.
Men's and women's. Kane did it.
Kane, yes, that's the one I remember.
The only person out of the women's Money in the Bank winners that I remember carrying the briefcase around was Carmella. Right. Everyone else.
To your point, Alexa cashed in the same night.
Who else won it and cashed
Bailey.
in? Did Bailey won it once?
Bailey?
See, like, dude, you don't even remember the winners. Dude, Liv Morgan was the champ, and I forgot that she even won a championship.
Well, no, Alexa Bliss cashed in the same night.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey cashed in the same night. Matt Morgan cashed in the same night, and Kane cashed in the same night.
Liv Morgan hasn't been champ in so long that I thought that her last title win, the one where she with the championship she has now, I thought that was her first title win. That's how crazy like stuff changes with this. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of 2. But I want to go.
Clown brought up another one as well. I'm actually embarrassed we forgot about him. Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, well, that's one of my favorite cash-ins because in one night, every member of the Shield beat each other, and they were all the champ. So that was kind of a nod to, it's the Shield, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I still can't believe we never got that at WrestleMania, too, as like a main event.
That should have been a no-brainer at some point, yep.
But
listen, maybe 32 would have been the night if Seth Rollins didn't get hurt.
Maybe. That would have probably been better than the main event we got. I know that.
Don't get me started. And who was in that match again? Oh, Triple Dummy.
What is this? Okay, people. I'm trying to read what people are saying here before I bring up or switch to anything. I'm bringing this graphic back up again here for a reason. I thought LA Knight got a much better pop. That was the best fan reaction I've seen LA Knight get
in a while. Yeah.
Since he challenged for the World Championship.
Yes, sir.
So good on LA Knight. Once Drew was in this, Sean, I told you, like, yeah, he's winning this now. Jay was my favorite until that happened. Carmelo Hayes, I think that was just a standout moment for him. Andrade probably gets like the most abused person in the match. Like his back was tore up. He took a heck of a beating. And Chad Gable, he did cool stuff in there too, man. He was there. And Jey Uso, I think, was the fan favorite. His reaction was once again off the chain. Like Canada was feeling him.
I don't know, man. I mean, it was a good match, Conrad. I really don't. I'm kind of like worn out with the whole situation. Honestly, it was what it was. I mean, it was a good match. It was athletic. It told stories. A lot of people are happy with it. I'm not, but that's okay. We all are entitled to our opinions.
I've listened to multiple people talk about it. I'm going to bring up people in the chat, but I've seen people mixed about this. There's not like really one where it's like, yeah, they should have gave it to Jay. They should have gave it to someone else. People are either upset that they did the Punk angle later or that they did it here. Punk screwing him out of the briefcase would have been better. I don't know about that, Ray. I think it makes it even sweeter that you were so close to it again and he pulls the rug from up underneath you. Mm-hmm. I think you're out of it now. You can't do this anymore. It's over. Like, it's time for the match or I'm trying to think of a politer word.
The payoff should be coming at SummerSlam and then at Bad Blood, in my opinion.
I was gonna say blank or get off the pot, but I'm trying to think of a politer way to say it. Like make a choice is what I'm telling you to do. Yeah. Renegade says one Money in the Bank winner outshines the other, hence the same with the world champ, gets more shine than the other. Liv over Bailey, Cody over Priest. It's true. You're not lying. Royal Rumbles get compared. Money in the Bank winners get compared. The Money in the Bank is played. Let's get rid of it for a few years so that it gains its appeal back. That's true. Tired of seeing someone carry it for a year and not calling their shot. That's the way it used to be. Perfect. Yeah, that's tough. And honestly, I'm going to bring up a different promotion. Sorry, guys. This is what I do, though. Lucha Underground did it the best, in my opinion. They had a championship called the Gift of the Gods Championship, for those that don't know. They would have matches for the medallions. The medallions would lock into the belt that would go all the way around. And then when you won that title, you could challenge for the title. But the main person on the show, who's the evil boss, said, I'm a promoter. I want to promote the match. You can give me 1 week's notice, and I'll tell that person next week you're defending the title because he wants this title shot. Perfect. If it's after a horrible match, it makes sense still. I want a match with you now. If he says I want it at the biggest stage of the game, can I do that? Can I insert myself into a triple threat? It works. Like, I just think Money in the Bank, and there's moments where, like when Priest held it, Rollins' knee is busted, bro. Go in there and just go beat him. Nah, not tonight. Like, what's he sitting back there?
Yeah, it got a little silly at a certain point.
What's he eating, cereal? Like, oh, he's down? Nah, let me finish this bowl first before I go out there. You just get ridiculous with it. Pro Wrestler Shoe says, Jay didn't need it, period. The dude is hot. He doesn't need a title to prove it. Now, Jesse, this is where I'm going to go on Sean's side a little bit, though. I told Sean going into this, and Sean will back me up. If you didn't give it to Jay now, this is it. It's over. You don't have another opportunity. Jay's singles push is done. It may still exist on television, but he's not getting any more title shots. The next few months are set up. It's over. It's over for that. I get he's about to be in the hottest storyline. That's cool. That's great. But for what Sean wanted and what people were expecting, which is if you get that hot, we can run with you. We might give you something. They ran out of all those opportunities, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is over, and it's a shame. I mean, I understand what Jay and what James and Jesse are trying to say. That young man deserves a world championship on his resume. You know, and I've seen so many times where people who deserve championships, they'll get their moment, and they never got their moment. So, I mean, I do not have confidence. I do not have confidence that WWE will do the right thing. I don't believe WWE. I don't trust in WWE. But, you know, I mean, the Crystals of the world, the James of the world, the Jesse of the world, I mean, the rest of the chat chime in. Like, they think that just be patient. Jay will get his moment. I don't necessarily agree with that. And I guess the question I would ask the chat is, are you confident that WWE is going to give Jay his moment after all the championship losses? My answer is no.
Can I back you for a second? I'm about to go back to backing Jesse here, too. I can see in the chat. And I appreciate you, Jesse. I see the love you showed. Shout out to Tyler Stewart, who joined us.
Yeah, real talk, Jesse. Thank you so much. And Tyler Stewart, welcome.
Yo, what you
James,
said.
Well, James with the shout out as well. Thank you.
Yeah, James said, would Jay have a chance to cash in first? Let me address this first. Sean had a perfect scenario when we talked about this. I don't know if it was last week, 2 weeks ago. Sean brought up, Jay doesn't have to be a long-term champion. Jay could have cashed in that night, beat Priest, went on to face Gunther, and then lost there. It wouldn't have. Gunther's going to be the champ no matter what.
Regardless.
Look at me. I'm Sean right now. Look at me. Yeah. Gunther is winning the title. I don't care if Seth would have won, if Priest would have won, if Drew would have won.
If Drew would have won.
Yep. Yeah, it didn't matter. Gunther is about to be the champion. Triple H is protecting him at all costs. He's going out of his way to protect him. We haven't seen him on Raw. We haven't seen him do much of anything. He's protecting him. So you could have did that with Jay. Sean's not asking for Jay to be champ for 3 months, 6 months. He's saying give him something to prove like, yo, we have value in you and we can come back to this. You will always have this on your resume to say something. That's not what happened here. And I'm going to agree with Jesse with this, though. And, oh, no, let me finish. Let me go back to Sean's point. Chad Gable. Do you believe me now, folks? When I said Chad Gable was not getting another Intercontinental title shot, me and Sean sat up on here, and I told you, if they didn't give him the belt at Clash at the Castle, it's over. It's done for right now. Can they go back to it? Sure. Are we going to care? I can tell you this brother's not unless you make me care again. Maybe they can do it. Maybe they'll make me care. But as of right now, I do not care about Chad Gable and the Intercontinental title. I'm on to whatever he's going to do with the Wyatt Six. Keep it moving. But we still know this whole Otis thing is looming. Like, when you can see what they're doing, I'm like, okay, can we get to the point and then make Chad Gable whatever he's going to be strong then? Like, let's do this. Let's make it happen. I get, though, they're trying to interweave the stories, but it's the same disappointment, though. If you were a Chad Gable fan and you were hoping, like, oh, he's going to get that moment for his daughter when his daughter cried, none of it just made sense how they did this.
WWE, a lot of people, some people do, but some people don't like my throwback comparisons. They think it's a little bit outdated. Look, I'm 38 years old. I'm old school and new school. I have enough experience with the old school and the new school to be able to have a formulated opinion that makes a lot of sense. Curt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, broke Hulk Hogan's championship belt with a hammer. He smashed it. He was over more than you can ever be over. Now, if you use certain people's logic, when he never got the championship in 1988, or 1989, excuse me, well, Mr. Perfect will have another opportunity. Mr. Perfect they'll spin the block, and Mr. Perfect will have a chance to be, oh, he's too good. Curt Hennig is too good to never have them spin the block and have them give him a championship. Mr. Perfect is clearly the best heel in all of wrestling. Why would they not spin the block and give Curt Hennig the championship? They never got back to it. Oh, Ravishing Rick Rude. Now, Ravishing Rick Rude did get his just due in WCW. He became WCW champion, but let's just stick with WWE, right?
International.
Yeah, I mean, but it still counts. But I feel you, though. It still counts barely. But in WWE specifically, oh, well, Ravishing Rick Rude he beat the Warrior. He's the only guy to beat the Warrior. They're definitely going to spin the block and have him win the championship at least once. He's going to at least be a transitional champion. It never happened. Scott Hall. Wow, this guy is money. Oh, my God. This guy, Scott Hall, is money. Holy crap. He looks good. He's a technician. He does good on promos. He's a guaranteed world champion. It never happened. So my point is this, chat. Jey Uso has been arguably, and in my mind, it's not even an argument, the most popular wrestler on WWE television, not named Roman Reigns, for the past 8 months. And my question to you is this, guys. And by the way, chat, Conrad, you've never heard me speak so calmly or rationally about Jey Uso. My mind, after Money in the Bank, I'm done. My mind is at ease because I know it's over. But just to bring this whole thing home, what does Jey have to show for being the most popular wrestler in WWE? What does he have to show for it? Not a damn thing. My follow-up question would be, how does that make sense?
Listen, here's the other thing. $1 Million Man. I'm going to just use what Sean said. Hottest person in 1988, right? Let's say 1992 came around. They're like, man, we got to give someone new a chance. And they put Ted DiBiase's name out there. Pretend that you could dump this water out all across this table in front of me. Then I say, Sean, I want you to get a squeegee and put all of it back in. And if you can get all of that water back in, we could put the belt on the $1 Million Man. Could you do it?
Couldn't do it.
It's impossible because sometimes you only have one chance to strike to do something like that. And if you wait too long, like I saw James put, we waited 2 years on Cody. Jay, wait, no, it's over. It's over. He's going to be back with Jimmy, and I don't see any way of splitting them again. Why would you split them?
And they're going to win the tag titles, and and Jay's not going to come close to a world championship ever again.
Well, the focus is going to be on Cody. It's on Roman. It's on a bunch of other people, and then I'm going to prove it in the next match too. Let me go through the comments.
Yeah, go ahead.
McKinney said Punk and Drew is now a blood feud. 3 matches, finals match, Hell in a Cell, no title needed. Book it. I'm with McKinney. Jesse 100%. Said something great too. I'll take 4 stories rather than the 1. I get what Jesse's saying here. I get it.
But how would first of all, 100%. But second of all, how would Jay have won Money in the Bank ruin the 4-story situation? It would have been Jay as an opportunity to get world champion, right? I'm throwing up fingers here. Jay as an opportunity to get world champion. CM Punk would have screwed Drew McIntyre out of winning Money in the Bank, so that keeps that situation going. What other storyline? I mean, Cody. What are we talking? How would Jay winning Money in the Bank would have ruined the other stories? See, are we saying that if Jay Uso I
think his argument is how it happened.
When I talk about Jay Uso, it clouds everything because everybody knows I'm jaded when it comes to Jay Uso. Let's take Jay Uso out of it. Period. If Carmelo Hayes had won Money in the Bank, guys, if CM Punk had stopped Drew McIntyre from winning Money in the Bank, wouldn't we be in the same spot we're in right now? I don't see the difference.
I think if Jay wins the briefcase, you have to put the title on Jay.
No, forget Jay. That's what I'm saying. Take Jay out of it. If Andrade had won Money in the Bank, I'm talking about strictly the CM Punk Drew McIntyre storyline. If CM Punk jumped from out of the crowd and pulled threw a ladder at Drew McIntyre and stopped him from winning Money in the Bank, would we have not still seen Drew McIntyre invade the post-game show? Would we still not have the anticipation of what Drew? It would still be the same place it's at right now. No difference.
Sean, I told you before, part of my logic that comes with this, though, is knowing Triple H's thinking and brain and booking. He's not going to do something like that. I get what you're saying. Like, will we be in the same place? Perhaps.
And the only thing, to let you go, Conrad, the only thing that would be different is that Seth wouldn't be involved.
He wanted to get rid of one of those briefcases as quickly as possible. If you give that briefcase to LA Knight, Jey Uso, Andrade, Chad Gable, they're gonna have to hang on to it for a second because you don't want them to fail at cash in either. In a way, because that's gonna upset people too. Like I said, the only thing you could have done was Jay wins and he drops it in a month.
Well, we'll never know because Jey Uso's not winning a damn thing, and that's a shame.
Joe Hendry doesn't have a title. He's over. Time will come.
I hear you, James. The more I hear James talk, I swear, the more I hear James talk, I know James is rooting for me. James wants this to happen for me so bad. But I don't see it. I appreciate you, James. I don't see it.
Damian Hernandez, welcome. He said, I thought Money in the Bank would have been better if the Y6 showed up and screwed Gable over.
I agree.
Maybe we'll get that tonight. I still feel like they're trying to explain to us what the Y6 is, and we're invested in these VHS tapes and what they're doing with that.
Right.
I said Taylor before. I'm assuming it's Tyler Stewart. If I'm saying it wrong, let me know, brother. I apologize.
Stewart, welcome.
Yes, welcome. It's a story. Jay's trying to do stuff solo and can't do it. He will win a world title once he's back. Hence, Solo won't do it until The Rock comes in. What did he say? You need family. And Jay will get a championship. I agree. It's going to be the tag team championship.
A tag team.
Y'all think I'm being funny? I think he'll get his moment.
Serious.
But I don't think it'll be the heavyweight title, Derek says.
Derek probably is right.
I don't know. I'm confident. And yeah,
can I go on record right now with something, Conrad?
Yes.
It's been how long? A year. I don't think I'm not jumping off the Jey Uso bandwagon, but as far as my hope for Jey Uso to become world champion, I have lost all my zeal and all my confidence that will happen. There's I don't care if Jey Uso's in 100 championship matches. Triple H, Paul Levesque is not going to give that man his chance to win a championship. I appreciate it, Jesse. I appreciate it, James. Crystal's even trying to encourage. I appreciate Derek's trying. Everybody's trying to give me some hope. It's not going to happen because I don't believe Triple H is going to do the right thing. And if Gunther loses, that'll send shockwaves through the whole WWE. I don't see how he loses that match at SummerSlam.
Y'all bugging if you think Damian Priest walking out of SummerSlam with the title. There ain't no way, Sway. As soon as he won King of the Ring, I'm like, he's winning the belt. He's winning. How many people have beat Gunther? I know everybody in this company, in WWE. Who's beat
Dragunov beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And Sami Zayn beat him.
There's one more.
Okay.
One other name that happened on a kind of like a merger of shows.
Tell
Braun Breaker. That's it. Those are the only 3 people to beat him. Y'all think Damian Priest is going to be that guy? Nah, he's about to be feuding with Finn Balor. It's a wrap, Rizzy. I'm with James. Boy, WWE about to have people crying when Gunther loses. Okay. Listen, I'm not confident about many things. I feel very confident about this one. I think the reason Damian Hernandez says, I think the reason why Jay is a champ right now because like Braun Breaker, WWE is waiting until next year when the Netflix deal is locked in to give a big push on them. Yeah, listen, Netflix is about to bring back The Rock, John Cena, and many others. I don't know. Joe Compton, what's up, brother? I see you in here. Why
can't we just admit that Triple H is using Jey Uso for the money he brings in and never going to pay him back for it?
Mike from The Rock in the chat, what's good? What's good? I'm seeing everybody's comments, man. I appreciate everyone going back and forth. Guy Will Gamble in the house. Appreciate you, brother.
Another loyal soldier. Appreciate you.
Man, thank you guys so much for being in here. We're gonna run through the rest of this still. We got a lot to talk about with this. Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker. Sami Zayn retained the Intercontinental Championship. I saw a lot of people upset that Braun Breaker didn't get his moment. I think it's still possibly coming. I could see a 4-way happening at SummerSlam with Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus added to the mix.
I'll be brief. Completely wrong decision. You don't always throw water on people just because you think they should wait longer. He should have won the match, plain and simple.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are underestimating Sammy's value. Sammy's not happy. Me and Sean have said this. I don't hear a lot of other places saying this. Sammy sounds like he's not happy right now with what he's doing. I think he feels like he's stuck in neutral right now, like in mud, and he can't get out. I don't know, man. I don't know. Will he be Intercontinental Champion? I think eventually he will be. Braun Breaker's their guy. This is why I'm telling you, these people who you want to get pushes who haven't, your Ricochets, Jey Usos, throw names at me, Sean. Help a brother out here.
What, Intercontinental Champions?
Anybody. I'm just saying anybody who's on the rise right now.
Carmelo Hayes.
No, he'll be in the mix. He'll be with Braun, too. The NXT guys are going to be Triple H's focus of the future. He's not going to mess them up. But if you're hot now, I don't know what happens to you. I don't know what happens to LA Knight. I don't know what happens to these guys. Is LA Knight probably about to get a good run with the US title? Sure. But is LA Knight ever going to get back into the world mix? I can't promise that. Maybe he does. Maybe he breaks out. Maybe he breaks the glass like Stone Cold. I don't know what happens. But
LA Knight gets his first singles championship before Jey Uso. Wow. Okay.
I think he earned it too.
No, he deserves it. I'm not saying he doesn't, but a lot of people getting their chance before this kid. I mean, I'm just saying, like, oh, and by the way, I got a lot of heat for calling Jey Uso a kid. I know he's the same age as me. Relax. He should take it easy. Like, you called him a kid. He's not a kid. He's 38 years old. I know. It's just a figure of speech.
Easy. What's good? What's good? I see you. Let's see here.
And by the way, Tiffy Time wasn't too quick to get her chance. They didn't throw any water on her just to kind of cool us down. She got her first Money in the Bank win in her first Money in the Bank match.
They were making.
I don't know what's the common denominator here. Let's try and figure out why certain people get opportunity and other people don't. Oh, okay.
We'll get to that momentarily, sir. Damian Priest, Seth Rollins for the world title. Me and you did not agree with this structure. I would have flipped this in the main event. But
there's no question this should have been the main event. But okay, I agree with you, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here. I know there was the big botch everyone was retweeting, and I'm not holding that really against Priest. I think something was supposed to happen and then it didn't, or Priest got knocked out. I mean, that stuff happens from time to time. It would look bad on the ref.
He better went to the back and had a positive concussion test, because otherwise that's a bad mistake.
Or what if they told him don't move a muscle and we'll hit the music right before you're supposed to kick out? I know he should still be like, I don't trust you, I'm kicking out.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a tough one because it was very bad.
It's rough out here. It's rough out here. Guy will gamble. Interesting that him and James are both talking about they should have did a DQ finish with the match before.
They should.
I don't know.
That's a perfect assessment of the situation. Who said that? Guy will gamble and who? And James? 100%. They should have had Braun Breaker beat the crap out of Sami Zayn to the point where the referee got to a 5 count, multiple warnings, disqualification, left Sami Zayn laying, and then Sami Zayn would have kept the title, and Braun Breaker, he just lost. The momentum, I mean, he lost. This whole Super Sami thing is ridiculous. Sami Zayn's beating everybody that nobody can beat. Like, is Sami Zayn, like, is he that guy now?
I don't think so. I think it runs into, I think Jesse said this on your show. You had this dude beat Gunther, so now you have to make him strong. Or what did that mean? Why did you do that? You get what I'm saying? Like, there would be questions either way. Like, oh, why'd you let this guy who beat Gunther, ended the big streak he had, why is he losing to Pork Chop Jones? You know what I mean?
Maybe because he never should have beat Gunther in the first place.
Yo, bro, I think we were all on board with that. I told you what I would have did. Sammy's battle is to be the world champion. Him getting destroyed is what he's good at doing. I would have had Gunther destroy him. Destroy him. Gunther could have lost this in a ladder match. You could have did anything else with it. But
anything. And I got to give Jesse had a great point, in my opinion, when he was on my show. I agree. Gunther should have won that title, the World Heavyweight title, still the Intercontinental Champion, and then forfeited the Intercontinental Champion, a la the Ultimate Warrior. Nobody should have beat Gunther for that Intercontinental Championship. Nobody. Not even Jey Uso. Yeah, even Jey Uso. Nobody. And especially not... You know something? Let me go on record. I like Sami Zayn. But do I think Sami Zayn deserved to beat Gunther at WrestleMania after 600-plus days? No.
I think Sammy's in a bad spot too, though, because look at where his former tag partner is right now. And I want you to think about this.
KO's cooking right now.
Huh?
KO's cooking right now.
I'm saying look at where he's been, though.
Okay.
What has Kevin Owens done since 2024? Take out the tag titles and the Sammy stuff. What has been his main feud?
KO's cooking right now.
What has been his main feud, though?
The main feud has been teaming up with Cody and RKO against the Bloodline.
Before that, though, he's been with the Bloodline. Is my what I'm going with.
Right, Bloodline, right.
And KO is basically there to be the person fed to them for whatever they're leading up to.
Right.
What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, you broke up the tag team. It just, you look like you're going in circles with them. With some, like, you don't want to give them anything, but you love them. Is what
sounds like a lot of shortcomings coming from the best wrestling organization in the world.
Come on now. Big shout out to Hickenbottom. Yeah, kid is New York slang for sure.
Yes, thank you, Quilly.
Going back to this, Rollins didn't get the win. The Punk thing, I told everyone that's why they had to move it into that, because this is going to play into stuff in the future. I know maybe they just wanted that effect again to remind you, like, Punk and Rollins had issues. And Rollins like, you didn't just... This is... Let's go back to SummerSlam 1997. One of my favorite feuds that doesn't get talked about enough. Bret Hart versus The Undertaker for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. Special guest ref Shawn Michaels. You remember what the rule was in the match, Sean?
Right.
If you touch Bret Hart, Sean, you will be kicked out of the WWF indefinitely. You're out of here.
Like, yeah, you can't wrestle in the United States anymore.
Bret Hart hawks a loogie.
A real loogie.
Yes, because they hated each other. And Shawn goes to crank that chair, and he waffled the Undertaker. Shawn couldn't show any bias in the match. So after he did it, Bret pens him and looks at Shawn, count it. 1, 2, and 3. And Shawn was a babyface. He was hated after this. He got rid of the Undertaker, and then this led to DX starting, him and Undertaker feud, Bad Blood, which is coming back. Okay, good for them. Glad. I hope we see blood on this show, and that's dope. Cool.
Bad kayfabe.
That was the same thing playing into this, though. They wanted to remind you that these two had issues, and like I said, I think that's your WrestleMania match, but you didn't hear that from me just yet.
You're not wrong.
No, I'm just letting people know that it makes sense why it happened the way that it did. They wanted those moments to all be in there. Joe Compton says it would have been the first time both briefcases have failed cash-ins. It would be interesting. Oh. I mean, here's the thing with Money in the Bank, though. If you fail a cash-in, you are looked at as, what are we doing? Damian Sandow. Do you want to be in that class? Baron Corbin?
John Cena failed the cash-in.
They protected him. Stop. It was a DQ finish.
I'm just saying, I'm not John Cena's number one fan.
And it was Big Show.
Right. I'm far from John Cena's number one fan, but he did fail the cash in one time. So
I know, but that one's weak. You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, bro.
Do you want to be in those ranks? So Prince Rockstar said Sammy Hogan, cut it out. He ain't that bad.
He's beating everybody with the haluva. All of a sudden, the haluva kick is like the biggest move in wrestling. Like, come on, man! Like,
but is he really being treated like he's great though, Sean?
But he is though, because a spear and a Uso splash wasn't enough, but the haluva kick is. Like, come on, bro! Like, he beat Gunther. Let's just we have to take this into consideration, bro. Perspective. Nobody's been able to beat Gunther for 600 days. And Sami Zayn, the guy who lost to Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania, was able to beat Gunther?
Hold on. I'm flipping your words back onto you with this, though. I'm going to defend Sami a smidge here. Was Sami Zayn not the most over person at Elimination Chamber in Montreal?
Sami Zayn was the most over person in the world in the month of February 2023.
He never got his chance either. That's why I think he's like resentful a little bit. Like, you got something for me? Remember, he was teasing he was going to be in the world title mix after this, and then they were like, nah, go back to the Intercontinental title. And I'm sure he's like, dude, what is this? It's hot, giggity garbage. Like, you know
I feel you.
Yo, Quills, Pork Chop Jones, the name of your next created superstar in WWE 2.
Sounds like a good idea.
Sammy fits the underdog role perfectly. That's what I always think he's supposed to be. He's the guy who can't. Sammy, the guy who lost to Knoxville.
Oh, so James feels the same way I do, yeah.
Yeah. The Priest spot was a miscue on the music. You could see Priest's mouth say the F word because he knew they botched it, but it was great until Drew cashed in. Yeah, Punk screws up the cash in. We've been through it. John Cena ruined Damian Sandow. Derek will stand on that forever with what happened.
Right, though. I think he's right. The way Damian Sandow lost that match was very detrimental to his career.
And you know who I thought should have won that briefcase instead of Sandow? The guy who's the WWE World Heavyweight Champion now. You can go back and find it in the record books. I think he should have won it then, but maybe it was a blessing in disguise that he didn't.
Interesting.
At this rate, you might as well have Sammy fight Gunther when he wins. That was the story I pitched, though. He loses to Gunther at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title, and then when Gunther is destroying people, that would have been your chance to have Sammy. And he didn't even have to do it on the first time. Sammy could eventually dethrone him, even if it's for a month, because they treat Sammy that way too. Ladies and gentlemen, Pork Chop Jones, appreciate you, Mike. Sammy was over in a faction. He wasn't over before. Wow. So is Jey Uso over because of the faction, James, or is he? Are we not going to credit him too?
Jey Uso is more popular than he was even when he was in the Bloodline.
Let's hop through these real quick.
Yeah. Let's move on. Don't get me started.
Tiffany Stratton wins Money in the Bank. This match was weird. I enjoyed it. It was crazy. I've had fearful cringe moments in it as well. Props to Chelsea Green falling through tables. Zoe took some hellacious bumps. Naomi was up in the mix. I liked what she did. She was kind of the veteran presence in the ring, I thought.
Pretty much.
Io and Lyra were fine. This was crazy, but we all know it's Tiffy time. She's going to win. I think she's going to bedazzle that briefcase. She's going to make it pink, and I think she should wear it like a purse like she said she was going to do on the post-game show. Do it.
The right person won. I just think that it's ironic that, like I said, they didn't throw water on her and say, you got to wait a little longer, Tiffy. They said, oh, no, you're popular, you're over, let's go with you right now.
When did she come up? Right before Mania or after?
Right after.
Yeah, she's been there for a little bit, so good on her.
Jay Uso.
Main event time.
Main event time.
Yo, I'm just saying what happened, bro. Yo, Sean, don't be trolling me like those people in the chat and in the comments right now.
Main event time. That's a freaking joke.
It's boss time. We got Cody and RKO wink face, I don't know, pun intended, versus the bloodline here. I think I'm just overseeing KO involved in the bloodline stuff. I'm just like, dude, give it up. They beat you down every time. So in this, they actually had the popular ones in this. Tonga Loa was on the outside. Jacob Fatu made it in. And they had a match. This was basically Solo was going to pin Cody to justify the SummerSlam match.
Mm-hmm.
I did laugh. I think Jesse or James sent me the slowdown of the package pile driver where Tonga Loa had to go in and do it again. Then he rocked his brother right in the head, like, donk.
I think he was hurt himself, honestly, from the when he went over the top or got knocked out, his head hit the table.
Yeah, he took a great RKO too.
Yeah.
Like while I'm laughing at him, but at the same time, this was fine. Jacob Fatu's great. Solo's getting the title shot. I'm not really excited about this.
How could you be?
And I don't think this should have main evented either. I'm standing on that.
Of course it shouldn't have. You know, how for the company, chat, help me. It's like, for the company that's the best in the world, we sure have a lot of complaints about this show, like match order, storyline progression, winners, losers, outcomes, character development. I mean, for a company that's so wonderful, I mean, doesn't it seem like we have a lot to talk about? Or maybe it's just my imagination. Maybe they should have a 6-man tag with a predictable outcome be the main event instead of, I don't know, the World Heavyweight Championship match where CM Punk interferes with Drew McIntyre cashing in and that all that good stuff that happened in that match. But you know what we should do? We should have a 6-man tag be the main event, and then we can have Solo Sikoa get the pin when everybody knows it's just a reboot of what happened 25 years ago when Vader pinned Shawn Michaels in a 6-man tag to set up the same match at SummerSlam.
By the way, you want to know something freaky about that I just saw? Same arenas. Where the pinfall occurred, same arena. And where was SummerSlam that year, Shawn versus Vader? Cleveland. You're welcome. Just nerd wrestling fact there that I just knew. But, yeah.
I didn't even know the Cleveland part. That makes me sick to my stomach.
And Vader beat them at the International In Your House in Canada.
Oh, God. They're pathetic.
Yo, people, y'all got to stop laughing with Tonga Loa Punch Time.
They're pathetic.
Jacob showed out. I will agree with McKinney. I would much rather see Jacob in this spot, but I know it's not. I know why they're not doing it. It's just I'm high on Jacob Fatu right now. Jess says it's just you, Oos.
No, I know he disagrees with me, and we're gonna. Oh God, I can't wait.
Joe Compton says none of it bothers me. I watch it and just enjoy what they throw at me.
You know what, Joe? That's probably the best way to go about it. But me being a student of the game and knowing what's right and wrong as far as how I feel about the business. But you know what? If I just sat back and watched it like you're probably doing it better than I am because you're probably living stress-free. Meanwhile, I'm like, WWE's a bunch of idiots.
Right. Guy Will Gamble says, I'm in the minority again. Minority doesn't mean bad. I want people to know that, too. When you're I like Solo getting a shot. World title would have been a better main event, but I was fine with the tag after watching it. Yeah, it was giving. Here's the thing, and I told people this: they have Cody booked into a corner. You need to give Cody meaningful matches and things to do. We went into this knowing that this was set up, and that's fine. It's not bad. I don't hate it because it's predictable. I'm upset because I think there were better matches on this card to main event with. You could have had Priest main event this. I think Cody and Solo should main event at SummerSlam, but I don't think this should have main evented the show. It felt like it was just for the sake of saying it. Like, here, this is the main event. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean, Conrad. Yes. I've always known what you meant, bro. Like, it's not even debatable. What you're saying is straight facts. It's a stupid decision, and I don't understand why these things happen. Why is a 6-man tag? You had a world championship match. Let me review this one more time. You had a world championship match. Forget how I feel about the Money in the Bank decision. I'm talking about strictly the world championship match. You had Damian Priest, the return of Seth Rollins, by the way, with a cash-in by Drew McIntyre and interference by CM Punk. And that's on the undercard for a 6-man tag with the world champion and his eventual challenger at SummerSlam. Makes all the sense in the world.
100% agree. Shouldn't have main evented. It would have made sense if someone like Jimmy would have returned. Jacob got super busy. Hopefully he's on the way up. Yeah, I think he is. Don't make fun of Tonga. He's going to hit you with them G1 chops he hit on Okada. King of Soft Style. Bloodline 2.0 or in 6.5 out of 10. Again, too slow for my taste at times. Multiple unnecessary ref bumps. Solo pins Cody. What? Jacob Fatu is awesome. Tonga Loa botched again. Harsh, Quilly. But you're not telling a lie, and most of it. And Quills hates ref bumps. That I know that. That is the one thing he's like, do not do it. Cinema era. Stop calling everything cinema. That's my one gripe with WWE right now. A lot of people are like, oh, cinema. Look at how he looked at him. Storytelling. And I'm like, he looked at him, bro. It's not story. Relax. Quill says, let's go to wrestling booking kindergarten with Mr. Hubbard. I was fine with the title match. Should have main evented, but the video on SmackDown set up what the main event was about, but I understand. Do we get another Bo Howdy VHS tape or another character tonight? I think we're going to get some type of progression with the Wyatt 6. It's one of the best things on there.
I gotta give WWE credit for the Wyatt 6. The Wyatt 6 is cooking right now. I hope it continues.
Yeah, Joe said, I went to high school with Jason Ayers, the referee from the 6-man tag. I cringed when I saw my boy get packed up by the steel stairs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Generally, title or specialty matches should get the precedent to main event, in my opinion, though. I'll tell you why they had the 6-man last. At Priest Rollins main event, the main person would have been talked about was Punk. They wanted Solo as your talking point. I get it, but it's bad. But are we talking about Solo?
No, not really.
Yeah, that was my point. We were never going to lead to that. Let's get into this John Cena talk, because this is the main crux here. John Cena came out at one point during the middle of this show, and he said, WrestleMania in London. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that was for. I was hoping someone would have asked in the press conference why he did that last year. John Cena came out, and he had to let people know the last time is now. John Cena is going to retire. I will keep it a buck with all of you in the chat. I have no love loss for John Cena. Everyone's all excited for his returns, and I know what he means to a generation younger than me. To me, John Cena does not represent that. The John Cena that I cheered for, that helped him become the world champ, I'd like to think a little bit. Like, people buying the merch, going out, using them in the video game, stuff like that. He was a rapper. Word life, basic thugonomics. And now he says, I'm not rapping anymore. I'm 48 years old. Okay, John. It's not the guy I cheered for, but I get that that's other people's childhood, because me and Sean have worked with other people.
The hip-hop urban community got you where you are. Now you're turning it. Don't get me started.
It's weird, but John Cena's retiring. So I know what that means to a big portion of the wrestling community. Sadly, Sean, we're kind of the old heads now, or older, I should say. I wouldn't say we're old, but older when it comes to this wrestling. We've seen a lot. We've been through a lot. We've been through the ups, the downs, the ups again, and the downs again.
Yep.
So people are hyped for this. Cena announced that he made it sound like he was retiring at WrestleMania, but then we found out he's actually going to work the entire year of 2025. So 2025 is your year for John Cena. If you want to go to a WWE wrestling show to see John Cena, you better save up. You better get your tickets. If it's a house show, whatever, he might come to your town. Brace yourself. With that being said, Sean, thoughts on Cena's announcement, and where do you think we're going with this? Because I have a inkling on who he's facing at WrestleMania. I've got the WrestleMania main events booked. The 3 matches I think will be the top billing for the guys.
I mean, I think John Cena is one of those rare people that deserves a farewell tour. You know, he's in rarefied air. I'm not a big fan of his, but I'd be a hater if I said he's not one of the greatest of all time. I found it the most interesting part of the whole announcement is what you talked about earlier, that he's going to wrestle through WrestleMania. So to me, that opens up a plethora of opportunity as far as what we can see. When I heard that he's going to wrestle through WrestleMania and through the entire month of December of 2025, my mind was made up. John Cena is, if it was just till WrestleMania, I'd say, all right, farewell tour, all good. And it's still a farewell tour, but the fact that John Cena is going through December, John Cena is going to win 17. John Cena is going to win 17, and I'm actually going out on a limb. I'm predicting right now John Cena is going to win the Royal Rumble.
Wow. Okay. Can we fantasy book y'all for a second?
Right,
I know.
But again, I want to be clear before you go. It's because it's not stopping. If WrestleMania 41 was it, I'd have a different song to sing. But since he's going all year, I predict John Cena is going to win the Royal Rumble.
Tell me what happens with it. I wanted you to fantasy book, not me. So what do you think it's going to be?
Well, I think John Cena is going to come out. I think John Cena is going to probably be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. I think that's where he starts. I think this is enough time where he made the announcement in July of 2024. We may not see him again for the rest of the year, right? And then he's going to be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble, and there's not really going to be a story to tell, except what we already know is coming down the pipe, which is that I also believe that same night Randy Orton's going to beat Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed title. And then John Cena winning the Royal Rumble in 2025 is going to lead to Cena Orton at WrestleMania.
Not even playing, folks. I swear to you.
Wow, we didn't even. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know you were doing that. My hand to God, I did not know you were doing that. That's crazy. Yes, but that is how I think it's going to play out. Orton beats Cody at Royal Rumble. Cena, as a surprise entrant, wins the Royal Rumble, and then Cena goes on to face Randy Orton for the Undisputed Championship at WrestleMania.
Very interesting. I am going to. That makes sense, though. Don't have me reconsider anything. I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
On what I think happens, though. I think Cena shows up for that Netflix show. He's in the Rumble. I think we're about to get the Shawn Michaels story a little bit here of, you remember, what was it, Royal Rumble 2010? Shawn's doing his valiant effort. He's in there. He's super kicking people, and then he makes it to the Final Four, and Batista just smacks his hands. You just see he couldn't grab the rope.
Yes.
You're spiraling out of control, man. If I only could.
Right.
You get that video package for Cena. I think Cody loses the championship to The Rock. I know that doesn't. Because they did that whole "you want to hold my title" thing, which was weird, and they did that. They shared the belts. I think Cody loses to The Rock at Royal Rumble. Cody won't have a match. Yes, okay. And Cody won't have a match for WrestleMania, but the match is right in front of him. It's the two good guys that people will love of all time. Now, I want to be weird here. If you want to, Cena could go heel. My question is, could Cena go heel to get 17? He wanted it that bad that he had to do something dastardly to get it.
But he did mention in the press conference when somebody asked him that same question, and he said no.
A heel would always lie.
Right. True.
Bobby Heenan, what's he doing out here? Whose side is he on? I hate when people say Heenan ruined it. I saw someone saying that the other day.
Heenan made it better.
I agree. If you were around at that time, that was Heenan saying that did not sway my mind at all with Hogan. It wasn't until Hogan was up in the air and I was like, I can't believe he just did this to Macho Man. I can't believe it.
Heenan made it better because Heenan always said Hogan was a jerk.
That's true. Let me go through these comments in here. I put a comment in for the chat too. Renegade L2K says, I'll tell you that report probably got to asking Cena about Gomez at the press. That's John Cena's fault. He said, ask me any questions you want. He had multiple chances to get up and go. He was like, no, keep him coming. Keep him coming. Keep him coming. Ask me anything you want.
To his credit, though, John Cena was trying to be a cool guy about it. He just didn't think he was going to get the question he got.
Well, he was, but he also said that he's answered it before, and I'll let you guys go look up on a famous radio person station. His name rhymes with Boward Stern. If you wanted to go and look up his answer was not so great as well. But you don't want Conrad getting into the facts and figures of people and what they said.
Right.
Matt Lopez says, John Cena to me, I was a fan. I bought all of his gear. I even got that John Cena DVD that was in a box that came with the wristband and dog tags. I love hearing these stories. Cena Orton at WrestleMania 41. Book it, Triple H. Man, I can't believe y'all want to see this match, man. I'm still tired of that match. I'm like, no, I'm good.
For a farewell tour, I'm cool with it.
I'm cool with it one time. I don't want to see them, I don't want to feud either. Question.
That's what I'm saying. The biggest key you got to hold on to through December. So you never know. WrestleMania could just be the start of something.
Right. It could be. Derek, come on, bro. You know how I feel about Cena. I'm not sad at all. Derek is not a fan. You 48 and still rapping. Game said Game, did you say you 48 and still rapping? Somebody asked him. I mean, come on. John Cena is still one of my all-time faves. I'll say this guy will gamble. Culture vulture is what it feels like, and I don't like to say
I don't like that either. Yeah, that's true.
John Cena was one of my all-time favorites. It was good to see him on the show. I'm curious about his retirement run. Will we see 17? Cena, will he go out in the sunset and win with the world title like Sting? I don't know if they do that. I don't know if he leaves with it.
My prediction is that he'll win at WrestleMania, and then we have all the way to December. So he's going to win it at WrestleMania, and he's going to lose it before December.
I have a 60-40 belief he will win the 17th championship. I'm banking on he will win at the Rumble and face Cody.
And Leezy, you are a smart man about the Royal Rumble part, but I think it's going to be Randy Orton.
Because the crazy part is, and I said this with Jesse, Rock and Roman don't need the belt technically.
No, they don't.
It really doesn't. But
you think Rock's going to beat Cody for the title?
I do. I feel like Rock's going to get that lick back for that point and all that. You know, the WrestleMania doc came out. And everyone's laughing at him right now because you would have been mad if he didn't do it either. If Rock really was like, well, I'm the Rock, so I don't care what you want. I'm doing the match. Because you know other people would have did that.
Facts.
Ask Minute Maid Man what he would have did.
Ah!
If you need to know who that is, his music goes dead. You guys are wilding in the chat. Will Cena get to 17? Edge can't be there for Cena's last run. I mean, listen, man. They made their choice too with him. Roman can pass records. Why can't Cena? Might as well. Sorry, I'm late. I did switch for Money in the Bank when MJF aired. That's all good, Terrell. Welcome, man. Appreciate that you're in here, bro. Cena win the Rumble. I believe that. It makes sense. Mike from The Rock says it makes sense. I want Cena Punk at WrestleMania so bad, though. I don't think that's going to happen at WrestleMania. Honestly, you know when I would do that match? That is the main event when you start on Netflix. John Cena versus CM Punk. I have The Rock defeating Cody at SummerSlam. Rock ain't getting that match, bro. Solo getting that match. Rock ain't coming back until after that War Games. Rock ain't doing no War Games match. Rock's coming back as soon as that's done.
T3Z, I like where your head is at. I just if The Rock was coming back, we would have read that on those tea leaves a long time ago. Like The Rock is not going to be seen until like the late fall.
And I think Cody deserves that match at Mania. That's why I said that.
Oh, please, with the whole Cody deserves.
Dude, they're treating him like, come on, man.
This dude's pure gold is what they're treating him like. Cody Rhodes is not getting presidential treatment right now?
Not with who they got lined up for him.
Tag for a main event.
Sean, who they got for him, though? Or they're about to drag this.
Come on, bro.
They're about to drag. If I told you to come up with 3 other people for Cody to face, do they really have 3 people in mind? They're about to drag this.
It should be Cody and The Rock at WrestleMania. That's what it should be.
They could do that, too. It ain't over to say that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's part.
But then what's Roman do?
Well, that's part of the reason I'm predicting that Cena's going to face Orton. It's why I think it's going to be Rock. And by the way, Rock, Cody, and Roman in a triple threat would be fine for me.
Mike from The Rock, I love you for saying that. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Humanoid, of course. Rock. My prediction is also Rock, Cody, and Roman in a triple threat.
Okay, I'm hearing you. Modern day Heenan versus Heyman in the prime would be great promos. Absolutely. Hold on here. I'm jumping around. McKinney says, how is Cena a culture vulture if that's what he was doing on his own, but it eventually saved his career?
Can I answer that?
Please do, because
he's a culture vulture because he used hip hop in that community to save his job, and he wouldn't be where he is without it. And now that he's where he's at, he's saying, "Oh, I would never do that again." That's being a culture vulture.
Yo,
he wasn't a rapper when he came into the business. He was the prototype.
When John Cena had the spinner belt, G Unit was at its hottest.
Yeah.
Then they said, you're going to be the guy of the company. And then all of a sudden, all that stopped. Why? Why? If the character was so good.
And it stopped almost immediately when he became champion.
And he started saluting and doing everything else. And I'm not mad at Cena. I'm not saying Cena wasn't the guy. I'm saying, why did you stop doing the gimmick?
Because he's not where he wanted.
I will gamble said Minute Maid Man would have made sure his match was first and been on the first thing smoking out of there.
True.
That is true.
That
is true. Rock did forewarn us that the tour between him and Cody has begun. Yes, Cena can have his retirement tour, but it'll be Rock versus Cody for the title at WrestleMania.
That's right.
I'm interested to see how this plays. I'm not confident in what I'm saying. And then Sean just threw kind of a stick in the lawnmower there, and I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Triple threat.
As long as it ends with Cody losing, I'm good. Wow, you better at the chase.
Deanna.
Minute Maid Man.
Title off that guy, please.
Minute Maid Man versus Gunther. Lemonade versus Cucumber Lemonade. Let's go.
Well, that should have been last year's WrestleMania, but
word up. I just wanted to hear y'all's take. You feel the same, but when people say it, I like to hear your opinion. Yeah, no, most people don't say the stuff me and Sean say. We were just having a conversation about this. And before we get out of here, there's a list of matches Cena could have. Is there any people that you're like, he needs to face them, I think, on this list? Like, I know somebody put this out here. I cannot even see the name very well. Wrestle Cults, maybe? I can't see what it says, but shout out to whoever's picture this is. Thank you. You guys can zoom in on it if you want to follow them. But what do you think? Is there anybody on here that you're like, yeah, gotta be this dude?
Technically, even though Rock is still away right now, Rock and Cena are under the same roof. You got to run it back with Rock and Cena because technically that's a rubber match.
Again.
Technically, that's a rubber match, so I'm cool with that.
Once in a lifetime, folks.
Yeah, once in a lifetime. But now that it's twice, might as well make it 3 times and get it out the way.
Three times the lady. Here we go.
Cena Rock, Cena Orton, Cena Punk maybe, but more so Cena Cody, but not at WrestleMania. Yeah, I'm gonna go Cena Orton, Cena Cody, and Cena Rock.
I like it. I wouldn't mind seeing AJ get another match with him. I think that they could still do something. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see how he performs in Noah coming up. Cena Rollins would be fun. I think at the end he's going to end up putting over Braun Breaker or Carmelo Hayes too. I think it's just going to depend on his schedule for who gets the rub, but I wouldn't mind that either.
And who else he could put over?
Don't.
They're friends off camera.
Who?
You know who? You know, if you're who you talking to?
Say it to my face, Alex Riley. That's actually been rumored beef for years, but
Jey Uso.
Maybe that's his last match.
Thank you, Deanna. Deanna's the only. God bless you, Deanna. Thank you.
Throwback versus Carlito. That's cool. Maybe. Who do you have induct Cena into the Hall of Fame? James wants to know. Whose name goes synonymous with him?
I'd have CM Punk induct him.
Yeah, I think that's like his most famous feud. CM Punk or even Edge, if you could get him. One of those two.
Yeah, I do CM Punk because it would be fun.
Yeah, it's interesting because honestly, Cena was supposed to beat Punk that night in Chicago, and then Cena called for the change. I think he was like, "No, don't do it."
See, that's the reason why I don't even though he is a culture vulture, I don't really dislike John Cena because John Cena likes to do the right thing.
Sometimes this is my point with him. Sometimes that Nexus stuff was the wrong thing to do.
Yes, it was. But was he? My question to you is this, and I'm not an apologist for John Cena. At that stage in his career, like when he changed the CM Punk outcome, he was like the dude. In 2009, that's only a couple years earlier, but like, you know, maybe he was like, don't you think the Nexus should win? And then Gomez was like, no, I think you should win.
Yeah, but did you have to kick out of a DDT on concrete, bro?
No, I feel you.
Like, you ruined 7 people, not 1. I don't know. I think Wade Barrett would be in a different spot if that would have...
I'll take it a step further. I think John Cena doesn't have 17 titles right now because he's tried to do the right thing. I give that man credit. Who knows? Maybe John Cena's a scumbag. But from what every interview I've ever read or anything I've ever seen, John Cena really cares about the business.
I'm half and half on him. That's the best.
I'd rather have him as CCO than the guy they got running this shit now.
Let me see here.
No, don't do that. Don't, because you always do that.
Well, no, I don't think I would want Cena in there. Cena's very
Chat, who would you rather have running the ship? Triple H or John Cena, knowing both of their history?
I'm taking Triple H.
I'm taking John Cena. John Cena wants to do the right thing for the business. Triple H wants to do the right thing for people that he likes.
Okay, KO would be a good one. Guy Will Gamble suggested. Angle. I hope you spelled Chad Gable wrong. Kurt Angle. It's over, bro. No way.
Do you know how many people John Cena has love for in the business? Publicized. John Cena adores the Usos. John Cena adores Kevin Owens. Imagine what Kevin Owens' career would look like if John Cena had the book, had the pen. Are you kidding me?
Man.
Yo, Conrad, just indulge me for 3 seconds. John Cena, we don't know this man personally. We only can go according to what we've seen and heard. John Cena loves the Usos. John Cena loves Kevin Owens. John Cena has learned to love CM Punk. John Cena loves Randy Orton. John Cena loves Carmelo freaking Hayes. Yo, think about if John Cena had the book right now. Think about where we'd be in history.
I think it would be different, but it's a tough job, though, too. You got to think. I know that you'd have 20% of the people who say you're the best, they're loving you. There's also 80% of the people who either say they hate you or they're waiting for their chance. They're begging for an opportunity. It's tough. I don't see Cena.
All I'm asking from you is to tell me that I'm not crazy when I say that.
No, I think it would be different if Cena was in charge.
Right.
Cena has different values than Triple H. Loves like NWA wrestling. Like I could just tell. Like Triple H is like old school guy. Triple H.
Mike Feezy, Quills is agreeing with me.
Cena is a fan of Ilya Dragunov as well. Quills says.
No, James. I do not think he would make Jay the champ. But I'll tell you one thing. I bet you John Cena would have had Jey Uso beat Gunther on Raw that night.
Interesting. We're going to have to follow this story. Listen, this story's going to go dead for like 4 or 5 months, and that's going to pop right back up during that Netflix era, which is going to be interesting.
Bro, Sir Quills, Cena's a fan of Dragunov. At least, where's Dragunov been on television?
Triple threats. I think you want another bold prediction for right now?
Please.
Bash at Berlin, Dragunov versus Walter is going to be the main event. I would do it. Y'all gonna be real queasy by the end of it, but
I wouldn't be mad at that.
He said catering. How dare you?
Yeah, but that's triple threat. No, he's not being funny. James is not being funny. The question I asked Conrad was, where has Dragunov been for the past 3 or 4 weeks? And the answer is catering. Triple H Dragunov just had a banger with Ricochet. I haven't seen him since.
He's been on TV. He was in that triple threat match last week.
I'm being facetious.
I know, but listen, Sean, the way he wrestles, I fear for him. You have to learn to chill. Like, he goes crazy in all of his matches, which I'm glad you're young and I'm glad you can do this. I need you to do this for a long time, though. So chill, Dragunov. But listen, do what you're going to do, which is smart business. Netflix and Cena's last tour, money.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. Yo, Hubs, you think Cena would have had Jey Uso beat Seth Rollins for the world title on Raw that night?
He loves Jey as a person, but he also has a lot of respect for Seth. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, he would have.
I say no.
Huh?
I say no.
Okay, you're probably right, but I think he would have. Quills, to answer your question, I'll say reluctantly no, but I think that Cena would have had him beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship.
Interesting. Cena versus Braun Strowman. No.
Mike, we love you, Mike, but no Braun Strowman.
Now listen, I got a choice, Sean. We could run through Heatwave and stick with WWE, or we could flip to AEW. I'm gonna let you decide.
I'm done with that. Heatwave was a better show. Done. Now let's move on to AEW.
do you want to run through those matches for like 30 seconds?
No. Heatwave was a better show overall. Heatwave stomped Money in the Bank into the dust, and that's all the people need to know.
What was your favorite match on Heatwave?
I'd say the 4-way.
The main event?
Yeah, it was. It was great.
I thought Javon Evans did really good. Ethan Page came out your champ. I'm just running through this real quick for people. Lola Vice had a tremendous performance, minus that corny crying in the lead up to this.
Lola Vice is better as a heel.
But yeah. Hey, by the way, I didn't see anybody. Now y'all know I gotta be funny. I didn't see anybody getting mad at those. What's her finisher called? The women's champ. Oh my goodness, I can't think of it. It's not a destroyer, but it's something else.
The move that Rey Mysterio does all the time.
And Trevor Murdoch used to do it. Matt Hardy, I think, learned how to do it, where they get on your back, flip over. Roxanne Perez did that move. I think she has a name for it. I can't think of what
4
it
times
is right now. Yo, did anybody get mad with that?
Pop Rocks, good job.
Pop Rocks, thank you.
Campbell and Leezy Circles, thank you guys.
Thank you. Yes, did anybody get mad at that 3 times in a row? Just asking. It was a great match. I loved it. It was fun. I'm just asking. Andre Chase, I definitely put up an old video of him today from old Ring of Honor when he was in the Bravado Brothers. Definitely funny, but that was a great match as well. I enjoyed this one. Lots of fun.
Wrong team won.
Really?
Yeah, I like Chase U. I think they earned it. I
like Chase U. I fear for their gimmick on the main roster if they bring it up as that. Right. I don't think it works.
It feels good in NXT, but it can feel like Spirit Squad if they moved up to.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about your school on Raw. Like, what are we talking about here, bro? My favorite match of the night, Obafemi and Wes Lee. Bro, he tossed this man like pizza dough.
He did.
He was like, get up there and get out my face.
He did.
You know, one of my favorite things when it's like two different like opposite body types, like big guy versus like the speed guy. He just launched him. Obafemi is, you might have a problem on your hands if you book that guy right when he gets called up.
He's a freak of nature.
And I thought these ladies tore down the house for the opener.
They did a great job, but I have a really bad feeling about the champ being a baby face. I think she needs a little bit more attitude.
Kalani Jordan, I think, will get there. So Ruka impressed as well. Like,
her finishing move is amazing.
That cutter, I don't know. Like, she always finds a way to hit that. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, except last night.
Yeah, and this was on the countdown as well. It looks like they're getting a tag team thing going. I thought that Santino's daughter here, I think is her last name Grace?
I believe so.
Ariana Grace. She really good. Really good stuff from her. So
Heatwave better show the Money in the Bank.
I love the Heatwave show. So as much crap as I talk back and forth with McKinney, props to your show. NXT delivered right here. But I always watch the NXT specials. I just don't watch NXT week to week.
McKinney, NXT won the weekend.
Any wrestler that doesn't wear knee pads is a freak of nature. Dragging off his dope, McKinney says.
That's actually a really good point.
By the way, any thoughts on Joe Hendry's face being shown at the end?
Oh, please.
Say his name. Man.
I like Joe Hendry, but I like Joe Hendry, but once again, WWE benefits from that partnership. I don't see anybody's face flashing on TNA television.
They had Tatum Paxley over there. What are you talking about?
Oh.
Trick had no business losing the title in Canada, just like Bianca Belair and Jade had no business losing the tag titles in Scotland.
I do not disagree.
Strap up Dragunov, E says. NXT Heatwave was leaps and bounds better than Money in the Bank, period. Man, I ain't heard that many people say that in a while. It was catching a little buzz online. Let's get to this, though. Let's talk some AEW. We got to go back, though, to the match with Will Ospreay, Daniel Garcia. I had a lot of fun watching this, the Beach Break show for Dynamite.
They did a good job.
It was well-built up show. First time in a while, I heard a lot of people talking very positively about AEW.
Where's the story?
Dude, I don't know if you saw Bully Ray's comment today. I got to call Bully out a little bit. You should put World Heavyweight Champion on Swerve, too. I mean, his title's in the picture. Mm-hmm. I know it says it on Jericho, and I forgot who the other. Will Ospreay's name, because you can't see their belts in the picture they're in. It's actually on this picture right here. Me and Derek do a show review every Wednesday at 10:10 for those interested. That's why I have this up here. But
it's true. How come that graphic World Heavyweight Champion is not on his name?
No, because the title appears. And I think Bully was making something out of nothing to where I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. They've showed it plenty of other times that he's the champ. I've watched it. You know he's the world champ. Obviously, they're showing that title. I'm fine with this. The other belts weren't being shown because they're cut off for the images that they have. I'm not going to make that big a deal out of it. On this one where it shows all the matches, dude, relax.
Okay. I'm relaxing.
No, I said, no, I'm just saying, Bully Ray, I don't think Bully's right on this. Like, you're nitpicking to nitpick.
I'm saying that I'm agreeing with Bully Ray.
I totally disagree in this situation.
That's why I said I'm relaxing.
Like I said, let's go back into this. So they had their match. This is the main crux of it because we're going to switch over to who we're talking about. It's not these two either. Will Ospreay finds a way. He gets the win after Daniel Garcia refuses help. Graphic picture coming up here possibly. MJF turned on this kid, and I thought they reset him the right way. I have never been on board with MJF being a heel. Or, I'm sorry, a babyface, excuse me. I never liked him as a good guy. I thought it was awful. Not awful. It wasn't him. It didn't feel authentic. I don't know if you felt the same way. The brochacho stuff, some people loved it. Some people hated it.
I told you months ago, I hated that brochacho crap. But what I will say, though, about this particular heel turn, I think that they should have ridden it out a little bit longer. They're going to have a match. It could have been a 5-star match. And he could have done that to him after the match at Wembley Stadium. I love the heel turn. I just don't like the timing. That's all.
Now, why don't you like the timing of it?
Because I think it's too soon. I think you could have him get cheered for another month and then have him turn heel at Wembley Stadium. Just have these big moments happen in front of 100,000 people instead of 5.
Here's my question: who are the top heels then? Because they haven't really established. They have, but they haven't with Paige. Like, he's in the middle of his turn fully. Yeah. You're waiting for the dastardly act to occur where everybody knows, like, boo this man. Even though I think the Jeff Jarrett match confirmed, like, he's a jerk.
I mean, yeah, I see where you're going, but I'm saying I'm not postponing it too long. You got to remember, All In is like a month away.
Would you have had him and Will do the respectful thing?
Yeah, like all respect until that day, and then he cheats to win, and then, maybe he turns on him. The same exact thing could have happened, but just I would have waited until Wembley Stadium. That's all.
I like that he also put the pause on the Garcia match. The beatdown was so brutal that if you watch Collision, they addressed it where, yeah, Garcia's having a hard time. He's going to make a full recovery, but they don't know when he's going to get back in the ring again.
Right.
I like that they did that as well. So even if that puts him off the All-In card, they gave you a reason why. Why isn't the MJF Daniel Garcia match happening? I saw some people complaining about
Where's the story?
This is a story, though.
Exactly.
This is a story, so I can't really complain too much about this. Hold on, the chat is bugging out. First off, Guy Will Gamble made me chuckle. This is why I was. If you ever wonder why I'm laughing, it's because I'm reading these. They're going to show Dante Chen on the screen as Slammiversary.
Yeah.
Not Lexus King. No match. Where's that baseball schedule, Conrad? Bully, the man on the Bojangles Cup. I mean, it's nitpicking, but he makes sense. How hard to add the word?
There you go. Nothing's by mistake, man. There are no such thing as coincidences in my book.
Let me ask you this: you think Tony's sabotaging Swerve though?
I think that's a egregious oversight, is what I think, and I think that's the first time I've ever seen it happen with a world champion who has comments on the show. World champion Chris Jericho, world champion Adam Page, world champion MJF with comments. I don't think I've ever seen that not be the case before.
If you go down the thread of where I forgot who homeboy from Grapsity, Phil commented on it, and actually people did show where it doesn't say it, and it's other people who are world champions.
I don't mind being wrong, but I'm just saying that's an egregious oversight.
Oh, by the way, so this is how they showed it as well. On the Dynamite one where he's by himself, it does say world champion up at the top. Like I said, it was the one where you're jamming in like 20 pictures into one graphic to just show the matches. But that was the one Bully decided to show, not the other one, right? You know, just pay attention to how people move. Until Garcia started, I don't even want to say that, on a camel's back in Ospreay's face. Pause, play. The match in Afterbirth was cool. Ospreay and Garcia was a darn good match. Garcia had a few suspect dance moments in it. Yeah, I think this is going to lead to Garcia coming back with a more serious character. I think they're like, let's pull the gloves off of him. And he main evented a lot of Dynamites for a reason, folks. And I'm going to stand on this. I'm going back to Swerve for a second. I think Tony has treated Swerve with the utmost respect. I don't care if it was his plan or it wasn't. I don't care if it was Will Ospreay's idea too. When you guys want to blame Tony for bad ideas, that he gets credit when it was a good idea. If you're going to give him all the blame, he gets all the blame, but then he gets all the credit too. He decided to keep that title on Swerve. Much credit. Me and Sean were up here sweating bullets when they first announced it. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, yes.
What are you doing? But it ended up happening. They did it.
It's called doing the right thing by your talent. What an interesting concept.
Yeah. And it was mentioned too, thank you, E, that Red Death is coming back. His old persona that he had on the indies, which he should be a beast when he comes back. We'll see if they follow through on it. Let me see here. I would have never made Cole that the heel that ruined it. They flopped until the injury setbacks. But there was no one else who could have been in that role. Sean killed this. Like we're at AEW. I will always bring this up. When Sean said, if it's not CM Punk, they're not going to care. And it was so true. It didn't matter who you put in that spot because everyone was on the AEW's dead. This is why I'm focusing in on what Bully Ray said, Sean, because you don't have to focus on that little match card because that's not the graphic most people see. He came in with that one. They usually tweet out the big individual pictures, the one I use every week, and I'll put them up on the screen and say, this is who talked, this is what happened. That graphic is nice so that you know all the matches. You could look and say, okay, there should be 7 matches on this card. Why did Bully pick that time out to do that? It just doesn't. Do you do this for everything else? Do you? Are you going to question the Raw main event tonight? And I'm going to pull that up in a second because someone asked about Liv Morgan wrestling. Where's the story? I'm glad Sean said it this week and not me. I heard Conan was sunned by TK. Now he doesn't like AEW. That's a fact.
Facts.
Uh-oh. Where are we? Uh-oh. Breaking news. Punk's opening Raw. All right. As long as it's not SmackDown. Hashtag what draft?
What draft?
Hashtag what rankings in AEW? Fix this, Tony. Tony, end the rankings, bro. Just say the rankings are dead. I'm okay with it.
The rankings don't matter. Rankings don't matter.
Mercedes and Britt Baker delivered too, I thought, on Dynamite.
Heck yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, another person just came back. What line? Okay, all right. Jeez, I thought there were rankings around here.
Yo, I like when you're sarcastic, bro.
Punk is on Raw since when? I thought he was a SmackDown guy, right?
Whatever is going on.
Netflix won't have a draft, that's for sure. Nah, Netflix is getting whatever they want for what they paid. Hey, Lunatic F50, I appreciate you giving us a shout out on the WWE 2K25 video we did, me and Jesse. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my little portion. Hashtag what draft, what brand split. We'll see who fixes their stuff first.
Yes, sir.
It ain't hard. Getting into this, though, Sean, you want to talk about championships, and I have a graphic for you here so we can keep this straight. You had a comment about championships right now in AEW.
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
I think the AEW needs to really get themselves a little bit more truncated as it relates to their championships. I think that there's a little bit too much going on right now. Ring of Honor obviously needs its own championships, but at the same time, the shows are bleeding into each other. So I honestly think that the championships should be consolidated. You know, especially the 6-man tag. They're carrying around 3 belts apiece. It's out of the realm of understanding at this point. So I would cut down on the 6-man belts. And I think that Okada's championship and Ospreay's championship should be consolidated as well, because I think those two are getting lost in the shuffle. One's the Continental Championship and one's the International Championship. You know, Intercontinental, that's kind of like, all right, bro, like let's reel this thing in a little bit.
Well, New Japan had their mid-card, their second one called that too.
All right, that's true. I'm just saying, for the sake of our sanity, merge the Continental and International Championships. Get rid of the other 2 sets of tag titles in the trios division. And you know what? I would combine the Ring of Honor Championship and the Pure Championship.
Wait, are you talking about get rid of the belts that they're carrying around?
You know, consolidate them. There's too many belts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12 champions. That's too much. That's too much. Too many belts.
So let me ask you. Well, I'm saying, all right, let's go through this piece by piece. You really can't get rid of Swerve. That's fine. Oh, I don't think you're advocating Tony's belt because it's the women's championship. Mercedes, I love it. I think
this belt is great.
Do you avoid women's tag titles after consolidating these? I know some people are like, do that for them to so that it's all even.
It's 2 brands, but they don't need that many belts. Yes, you have to consolidate the tag belts, and I think
I'm asking, do you advocate for women's tag titles in AEW?
Not right now. There's too much going on, bro. There's too much going on.
No, listen. I'm just
there's way too much going on.
I want the people to be clear.
And I want to be clear about this as well. If Ring of Honor stayed on their own show, I'd be fine with it. But everybody's crossing over, so it's like, okay, well, here comes the United Kingdom. They're the undisputed kingdom. Here comes the Ring of Honor tag champions, and then the Bucks are the AEW tag champions, and then you got the Continental champion, and here comes the International champion, and here comes Briscoe. He's the ROH champion, but don't forget about the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, and here comes the New Japan Strong title, and here comes the women. It's like, wait a minute, like, okay, and don't forget about the FTW title, like, don't forget about Jericho. Like, it's like, all right, now, like, it's a little bit too much.
I like what some of the people are in the chat saying too. So we went through the top row, no issues. Tag titles, I would love to see more focus on them. I think you need to rebuild that tag division like you've done the women's division now. You need to put some focus on there. I don't know where Motor City Machine Guns are. TK, write the check, baby. Like, do that. Like, I don't know what's taking so long, but it needs to happen. Now here's where we get weird. So you got Jack, Scapegoat, whatever we're calling this Folio, with the TNT Championship. You've got Okada and you got Ospreay. Okada and Ospreay are probably the stronger champions as far as who's drawing, who's got more eyes on them. But the TNT title, I think you feel like you have a soft spot for it. It was like the first secondary championship. Keep that.
When you first brought this to me, Conrad, I said to you, the first titles that come to my head are the Continental and the International. Those are the first belts that popped into my head. And then after that, I would go ROH and ROH Pure. Because ROH Pure and the ROH, they just consolidate them. Maybe everything like this, the Trios Championship, you have to have the Trios Championships consolidate. There's no reason
they technically are consolidated.
Yeah, there's no reason to carry around 9 belts.
Well, they're just being obnoxious with
that.
That's why they're doing it.
Right.
So they're just running around with them. I think once they lose them or whatever, I think they'll get rid of all of those. I guess let's go back to Okada and Ospreay then. Do you like the rules for the Continental to where it's no one can interfere? They kind of follow the same rules as the premise of that tournament that M. Leezy brought up, and I agree with this. The Continental Classic should be for a world championship shot at Revolution. All these things that they did, and they put a title in it, Owen Hart tournament, all that, make that number one contender for the world title. And
then the Owen Hart tournament, they're going to have a belt also.
Well, that's not a championship. That's kind of like a gift you get with it.
So many freaking belts, man.
Nobody wears it on TV. It's kind of like you won, take this home, hang it up, remember that you were in this tournament with the trophy.
Because the main reason I want the Continental and the International to consolidate, because I want them to focus on the TNT Championship. Let's continue elevating that. You know what I'm saying? And the FTW thing has become a joke now.
Honestly, I'm going to say this. I think you should combine them, do what Matt said with the tournament, and I think you just keep the international title. I like that as a secondary title name, too.
Right.
That and the TNT can battle for importance depending on who has it.
Because the problem is this. What becomes, as much as I don't like WWE, it's very clear what the secondary titles are on both shows. The United States and the Intercontinental, right? What's the secondary title on AEW? Is it the international belt? Is it the Continental belt? Is it the TNT belt? I don't know which one is more, whatever.
WWE might have more titles too. I'm thinking about it right now. They might have more.
WWE might. I don't think they have more. Okay, let's go.
Ready? WWE title. We're gonna just copy whatever they say. WWE. You got 2 women's world champions, right? In each company. Let's pretend. What do we want to equate this to? Let's say that's the Speed title. You have tag titles. Another set of tag titles that X's them out. Jack Perry. You have the Intercontinental. You have the United States. Keep running with me here. Am I missing anything? What other belts are there?
Let's do this. I got you, bro. I got you.
Yo, listen. NXT Women's, NXT North American, NXT Tag. They're up there. It's close.
List of championships.
Totality. Let me go back. So are you advocating getting rid of the trios titles, or are you saying you can have them?
Get rid of all the freaking belts. All right, so here we go. Let's just do title for title. World Championship, AEW World Championship.
Okay.
Women's World Championship, Women's World Championship. Intercontinental, Continental.
Okay.
World Tag Team Championship, Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. Undisputed Championship, TNT Championship. Women's Championship, the second one. Whatever this one over TBS. The Undisputed, huh?
TBS.
TBS. Okay, great. United States, International. WWE Tag, Trios. Speed, ROH.
Honestly, Speed's probably the FTW, truthfully. Never not seen on TV. FTW's not even technically recognized as a title.
NXT, FTW. North American, Pure. NXT Tag, ROH Women's. It's a tie almost. It's almost a tie.
That's what I'm saying. It's pretty close. Like maybe AEW's got them by one, but the amount of titles are almost the same. And
it was funny because it was funny as I was saying to say it. It was like it became like this run on. Like how many freaking belts do these companies have?
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. So you think Ring of Honor needs more splitting from? I know me and E disagree on this all the time, but I think Ring of Honor needs their own roster. I told you a long time ago, if it were up to me, the world title picture, sure, you could have Mark Briscoe in there, and I know you want him on both. It sounds good, but you're on Ring of Honor for now until I need to call you up. And then you could have had the world title picture be people like Garcia, Yuta, mix those guys up. Atlantis Jr. winning the Ring of Honor television title, I guess that's good. It gets it out of here for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's out of there.
And by the way, is it really fair to talk about the NXT belts? Because NXT is not like AEW doesn't have a developmental brand, right?
That's the question, though. It goes back to WWE. Is ROH your developmental brand, or is it a second brand?
Well, you answer your own question. How do you? I don't think so. Do you think so?
I think that's what it should be used for. Why is Athena shackled to Ring of Honor, but other people aren't? She's down there crushing it, but she's... No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think Tony wants to keep her down there because she's going to keep eyes like the people who pay the $10 a month. It's probably for Athena.
Okay.
It's not for anyone else. You can see Mark Briscoe all the time and Yuta all the time. And Kingdom, whatever they're called, these dudes these days.
All that being said, I love AEW. I just think it's a lot of moving parts.
You're not wrong to critique.
And the more belts you have, the less prestigious they get. Listen, M. Leesy's my witness, and I think Quilly called me out on it too once. I mistake the Continental and the International belt every time I speak about them. I'm like, yeah, you know that Okada, he's a great international. Continental. Every week I'm messing that up.
Yo, E, gotta chill in the chat, bro. Why did you write that to Terrell? I have no idea. I'll let Sean read it for himself. He's just wild in the chat. I think that's a lyric to a song. Keep them belts. I'm a belt mark. Put him on Fight Forever. Speed title is only shown on Twitter or X. But what does that mean? Like, it feels like you're ashamed to have that person with that.
They should be. It shouldn't even exist.
Quill says bring in Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore has a no compete until February of 2025. People have found out.
And by the way, the Speed Championship, another brainchild of Paul Triple H Levesque. And that guy's doing a great job. Sean,
you gotta stop with the digs, bro.
No, he's doing a great job. This Speed Championship has been outstanding. Outstanding. You know how much that belt means? Nobody even walks out with it on television. It's a Twitter exclusive. I want to say Paul Triple H Levesque, you're doing a fantastic job.
E says bring in Scott for what? I think it would be nice if Tony let someone else book Ring of Honor, not for the sake of that Tony's like awful, because Tony does good, I think, with the pay-per-views. I think you bring in Scott for a different feel, and I also think that the loyalty from people in TNA could come over and pay dividends for you later. Maybe Jordan Grace doesn't go to WWE if she was one of those people that I thought was pretty loyal to Scott D'Amore. Maybe I'm wrong, but if she goes, that's fine. Maybe you get the Motor City Machine Guns from it. I don't know who's loyal to Scott and who's not, but it might play into your hand. It might be helpful. Sure. I thought TNA was fine when he was running it from a creative standpoint. To do what? Like I said, I just think it's time for a different look sometimes. Let someone else book it, give it a different look and feel. Let me see here. That's thanks for that info, Conrad. No, most people don't know that. Yo, my brother is a casual fan of AEW, and he was confused on the titles. It was funny explaining it to him. Is he confused for WWE too, though? There's a lot of belts on that show too. That was my point. Like,
now, as much as WWE gets on my nerves, WWE's titles are not confusing though. AEW's titles are confusing. There's a difference.
What? But why so? What do you think separates that?
You can't have a championship called the Intercontinental title, and then you make your own company and you call one title the International and the other one the Continental. That doesn't make any sense. Change the name. AEW should have a World TV Champion. That's what they should have. That's it.
Isn't that what the TNT title is, though?
But I don't know. Well, whatever. The point is, Yes, you're probably right. The point is, though, the International Championship, and I still can't say it right, International and Continental, that's a bit much. It's a bit much.
I was responding to E in the chat, but yeah, E said he better not try to buy ROH. TK ain't giving it up. He can work for him and play with TK's money.
And by the way, isn't Continental and International kind of like saying the same thing?
Yes, I think they really made that title so that Eddie Kingston could be the Triple Crown, and they were trying to make it feel like a big deal. The first Continental Classic they were doing. You get what I'm saying? I think you add more prestige onto it. I think you didn't need that title, is what I felt when they did that. That was one of the first ones where I was like, you don't need that. And
one championship name that's universal all over the world. Just make the United States the AEW US champion.
Could.
Just saying, like, the names are confusing. AEW's problem is that their title. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my stance is incorrect. Maybe they don't have too many titles.
I think it deals with you have people coming from Japan, Mexico, other places. International sounds a lot better to take somewhere else than you're the United States. What? You know what I mean? Maybe that was a play to them.
Not any less sense than it means to have a championship in an organization based in Japan and you have a United States champion.
They don't have that anymore. They are now the global champion.
I'm glad they changed it because that didn't make
no sense. But they were expanding into the U.S. I understood why they did that.
Oh, God bless. That was stupid.
It didn't hurt.
I like New Japan. That was stupid.
Motor City Machine Guns supposedly had talked with WWE. Did not know that. Continue the Triple H slander hubs. I love it. 2 more titles may be coming. Women's IC. Yeah, I did see that rumor too. And Women's US. Why not, Huz? They would have done it in the territories. Did you like the All Atlantic name better?
No, I didn't like that either.
Right. Continental was classic. Global Championship, worldwide title, European title worked well back then. People weren't big on the European title either until later on. But listen, we got CM
European title, James said. That was good. I like the European title. They never should have took that out.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you get into the Intercontinental, it's all thought of already. I hope you guys enjoyed this AEW talk. Listen, it's 8:00. Raw starting. Here's the matches for Raw tonight. I'll run through this pretty quickly. We got Slammiversary coming up. TNA, don't say I don't promote you. Slammiversary Saturday, July 20th. If you are in
TV.com.
What he said. They have a 6-way elimination match for the championship. Do they give it to Joe Hendry? Nick Nevin's been waiting quite some time. Or do they pull some kind of shock and surprise on Moose, or does Moose keep it? We don't know. Tune in to find out. I think
TNA having multiple people in a match and having it be elimination. That makes it better.
Yes, and I think that we'll be talking about that next week, possibly.
Yes, we will.
Anniversary. Don't forget Chad Gable, Jay Uso tonight on Monday Night Raw. Yippee Skippy. Also, we have a trios women's tag match here. This has been building up for quite some time. I think Damage Control is about to end. What?
It's been building up for quite some time.
It has for a couple. You can't say where's the story, and I've seen the story for this too. Like they've been coming out and interfering constantly.
WWE should hire you. You're the first person to make Damage Control feel important in about 8 months.
Hey, I'm just saying. In the main event, I don't know who booked this.
The main event.
Why would you book this? Why would you get Dominic in trouble? But Dominic and Liv are teaming up to go against Ray and Zelina Vega.
Oh, they suck so bad.
So
they suck.
Sean, take us out of here as quickly as possible without laughter.
Oh, that's great. Well, we got to make sure we rush over to Raw so we can see Damage Control break up.
CM Punk's on. What do you mean?
CM Punk is about to come out. That's true. So let's get out of the way and make sure that we have everybody locked in. Listen, all jokes aside, we thank you for being here for Clash of the Podcast. Conrad Cushman and myself really appreciate all your support and your viewership. It means everything. Without the viewers, we would be nothing. So thank you guys very much for the continued viewership. It means everything. So to everybody in the building, God bless. We thank you for your time. We thank you for indulging us in our opinions here live, our real opinions. You can like us, you can hate us, you can agree with us, you can disagree with us. But one thing you can never say about Sean or Conrad is that we're fake. We keep it a buck here on Clash of the Podcast. So until then, next week, 6:05 Eastern Standard Time, we will see you soon. Big announcement coming from Hubbard Wrestling Weekly and Clash of the Podcast combination with some outside people. We're going to have some really big things coming down the pike. God bless. Be encouraged. Evil never prevails.